Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are giving Vince a few minutes to jump on here, see if anybody else is going to jump on as well. Some people have had changes to their schedule and can't always make it as much anymore. Bummer. But you can jump on too if you want to help support the channel at thinklifemedia.com or Patreon, patreon.com/TomM. That is TOMM. For some reason, you cannot find me on Patreon by searching for me. But, you know, hey. Keep it there as long as I can. There's direct links to everything. Hello, Technomage. How's it going there? Bruce Scott, hello. You got your coffee. That almost looks like Mr. Coffee, but no, it's me coffee or I coffee. Ooh, coffee. The dog's in there. The cats are outside. Where do I have a cat? I think my cats are somewhere else. Hello, Alan Blake. Greetings. Sleepy Eyes Vince will be around soon. DJ Ware, hello to you. Good evening, Mr. Anderson. Hello, Steve Gunnett. How's it going there? And ATTAAS. As a service. AT&T as a service? All things technology as a service? Or is that just AT&T as a service? I mean, that's not right because AT&T's never been a service. I mean, really? I mean, come on, really? Alexander, how's it going there? Again, we're going to wait for Vince to jump on here. Ooh, you could go for coffee as a service. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's available. It's available. Pretty much everything's available as a service. Leave your comments. What are the weirdest things that we should look for to see if they exist as a service? Let me know. I thought about some of the weirder ones and looked and found that, I mean, sure, if it's a consumable, you can turn anything to service subscriptions on Amazon. But I did find some exclusive sites for that, which is kind of exciting. Hey, Vince, how's it going? Let me unmute you. There we go. Hi, Vince. How's it going? You were muted. Hey, all right. Let me unmute you from these guys' Vince. All right. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Let me put on my other headphone here. All right. So we're doing all things as a service. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a very long article. I was reading.
Yeah, and you know, I was reading through the article. Let me actually get you guys on as well. There we are. All right, so the article was interesting. When I was first reading it, I'm going, I bet that this article is like this and it's this long so that people just gloss over it and stop paying attention and just forget about it.
Isn't that sad, though?
Yeah, it is.
That if something's over, I don't know, 6 paragraphs, that people just stop reading.
Yeah. So the article we're referencing here is for the one today. So everything as a service. And if you follow Ars Technica, they accidentally published it last week. And it was originally on my list of things to look into. And then I go back to look for it and it's gone. I'm like, where did that thing go? I know it exists. I mean, have the overlords not decreed it? But it turns out that there was a little snafu. Oh, look who's back from the beach. Was that martini good? Yeah. There was a little snafu, and they published it early accidentally. And so they took it down for about a week and then put it back up. So, but yeah, and the thing is, I was reading through it, and it had like nothing to do with consumers as a service stuff. It was pretty much all business enterprise. I mean, unless I missed something.
Yeah, it was.
But... And that's why I wonder if this is to gloss it all over and say, oh, well, that just applies to business. That doesn't apply to us over here, right? So, you know.
Well, I probably have I could say a few things about it as businesses.
Yeah, we'll do business and then we'll do consumer. So go ahead and start with business.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think to realize is that why in the first place do businesses actually do this? And one of the big reasons is got to be cost. You know, that's a big driving factor. Mm-hmm. Say hi. You can you can only see the top of her head, but
yeah. Yeah. So
there she is.
Hello there. How are you?
Say hi. You say hi.
So, do you think the cost is too high or too low, or what do you think?
No, it's actually. I mean, it drives the cost of for businesses down actually, because, I mean, when you look at systems as services, you're looking at economies of scale, and sometimes with our own business, when we're looking at how much our IT infrastructure costs to move everything into a cloud service. And that's a really big factor in running a business.
Yeah, so I mean, for business, of course, what's better for me to rent my servers or to build a server closet? Renting my servers is way cheaper, you know, and honestly better for business because I can scale up. You know, if I get to the point where my current VPS is no longer stable for my business, I can always upgrade my model. I'm paying more per month, but I can always upgrade my model. You know? So yeah, I see what you're saying with that, for sure.
I mean, obviously, as the article goes into, there are some definite downsides, and key amongst them would be the fact that once your data is up in the cloud, you've lost some degree of control over it, and that's a really big thing.
Correct.
And that applies both to businesses and individuals.
Yeah. In fact, I've been fighting with that. The rental company that I use here, they decided they wanted to go with one of these, cloud-based rental management applications, which is owned by an unscrupulous bank that likes to abuse customers' data that are working on these tenant credit score things. I was like, no, you may not put my data in their cloud. It probably is there anyway because they probably didn't read the terms and conditions. The same thing as these church community builders, right? I don't know if they have them out that way, but out here, nearly every church, particularly your big churches, will have the church community builder. It's the cloud-based, contact management system for your church. Well, all of these churches, of course, check the box to agree to these services, but buried on page 7 of the thing is hey, you will not upload any parishioners' data to our database without their explicit consent. And every church in this town, nobody asks permission. They just, oh yeah, we got a mailing list. Yeah, throw it up. In fact, I have to yell at 2 churches that I'm actually friends with to say,
they probably did ask for permission, but nobody read the box they ticked.
Well, no, they didn't. And here's my greatest evidence. So the one church I used to be a part of, and I left the church. 3 years after I left the church, they implemented this system, and they just uploaded all my stuff to the cloud-based system. And I said, no, you may not have my data up there at all. And I said, you must blacklist my information and allow nobody to upload data about me into any of your servers for any of your churches. But that's an example of one of the biggest downsides to this that I see is that we as people aren't reading our terms of service. Are we trusting a business entity to read and agree with and follow the terms of service for their systems, which requires them to upload their client databases into the cloud? That's interesting. I don't know. What do you think?
You and I, though, are probably there's 0.01% that actually reads the terms of services.
Yes. Well, it was funny because I was telling the property owner, the guy that owns the place here, he doesn't like that stuff either. I'm like, dude, they're not all. So he says, well, I'll go talk to the guys. He's like, well, they'll have somebody talk to you and address your concerns. I'm like, oh yeah, can you imagine one of those guys coming in and addressing the concerns? He'd leave the meeting like he drank out of a water hose. The very first thing I'm going to ask him is, let me see the terms of service that you agreed to sign in. Oh, who owns the company? Oh, you don't know? Well, let me tell you all about the company that owns the thing. Let me tell you what they're doing with their data. Did you know this? Oh, really?
I mean, on that as well. I mean, I've started to make a point of people that I talk to. If we're discussing something as simple as email, I'm just explaining to them that, okay, so do you use Gmail or do you use Yahoo? Did you know that when you signed up for Gmail or Yahoo or Outlook or whatever, that you agreed to the terms and conditions that they are able to read all your emails so they can sell you advertising?
Yeah.
And something as simple as that is completely foreign to basically 99% of people I speak to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, again, you address some of the positives. There are definitely some positives to this from the business and enterprise system. Mostly like cost and scalability. So, like, I mean, I have a VPS that I put my clients on. I have several businesses of my own on my VPS, and it doesn't cost me, a whole lot. Certainly, what I bill clients to host their websites pays for it. So, I don't really have to pay anything out of pocket personally. But if I have to, I can scale that up. I can pay more. I can go up to a dedicated server for like $100 a month or something. That's not a real big deal. So yeah, there's some benefits to these types of things. But then, do we really need to have our office software as a service?
I mean, the other positive that goes with that is management. So ease of administration, ease of management. I mean, in our own office, we have a Windows server, and we run a remote desktop services off that server, so that each user can have a desktop that they use, that they log into the server and use it. And so we basically it's a thin client and a server setup. That means that whenever any updates need to be done, whenever any configuration changes need to be done, you can just do it centrally at one point, and everyone gets those updates. Everyone gets those configuration changes.
Yeah. Well,
And
that was
a cloud service can do that for you automatically.
Yeah, well, that was one of the major advantages of Windows 10 deployment is it can upgrade. You can download the upgrades from the internet once and then deploy it across your internal server. That was one of the advantages that they did. So
it's a huge advantage. And if you bring it back to Linux, from what I've been able to research, there is no easy way of doing that in Linux.
Oh, well, like Debian's the easiest because they have the ability to download the entire repo. Keeping it, and then you can actually push a git to update it, to keep it updated, and then set your computers to go off of that one local repo instead. So Debian's the easiest to do it with.
Yeah, but you still need to have individual computers on each individual desk that you've got to periodically check that they're actually updated and working.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that through a cron script, though, I think. That
true.
would, I mean, basically you have one computer that serves the master repo for your local repo, and then you just set a cron job to make sure all your updates are pushed off of that. So it's actually fairly doable. I think any distro could easily do that. I think Debian's one of the easiest because they just make the entire repo downloadable. But yeah, absolutely. Let's jump over and have a quick look at comments before we dive in. And then we'll wrap up the business part and then go into the fun consumer part of it. Kitty, would you please leave my camera alone? I'm sorry if I wiggle around. The kitty is down here like messing with the camera. Let's see. All things as a service. Oh, there we go. AT&T as a service. That's right. Richard Stallman was at the Microsoft campus to speak, but cameras and recorders were not allowed. What is he doing? Blue comedy over there? Freeman, greetings. Anarita, hello there. Mitchell, how's it going there? Mitchell, you can jump on if you want. The links are over on Patreon if you want. I think you said you're cooking dinner, though. But what are you having for dinner? I had barbecue chicken wraps. It was quite amazing. Tywake, how's it going there? It's 2 a.m. and you are from Iraq. Awesome. All right. Data and privacy, or privacy. Our privacy leaks like a privacy. Oh, boy. Let's see. Yeah, I think your daughter's stealing the show, man. All right, who's gonna steal the show, the daughter or the cat, right?
It's not a competition, is it?
Oh, I don't know. I hope not. All right. Mitchell's having
They've
salmon
seen-
and vegetables. Yeah.
Oh, nice. They've seen your videos and recognize a fuzzy snake.
Oh, all right. The fuzzy snake. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if there's anything else to wrap up on the business end of this. Then we'll jump into some of the consumer stuff, and we'll see if what we can find. We'll see if we can find some of the most hilarious as a service type things that are specific dedicated websites. Hey, Kitty, please leave my camera on. Thank you, Kitty. All right. So we talked about connectivity, compatibility. One of the big challenges they found is that you have all of your data in these service. You're relying on the service, and the service decides to sell, go belly up, close down, whatever else. What do you do in those cases?
Yeah. I mean, that would be a big downside, and that's why you should always go with one of the larger providers. One of the things that we have here that I'm not sure if you have over there is that, I mean, we do have some strength in privacy laws. You think, really, after what a lot of what Australia's done to privacy and encryption, but we actually have some strength in privacy laws where, if you do go by the rule of law, there are certain types of data that you have to ensure are saved and stored correctly, and some of the stipulations actually include where the servers actually are in the world.
Okay.
So things like financial data, healthcare data, things like that need to be stored in a server that is located here.
Okay.
At the very least, so that it is under the jurisdiction of Australian law. Okay. And everyone can see the implications of that, because if you store your data in somewhere like, let's say, Russia, or China, you've lost all control of that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'd probably commend the government on having done.
That's kind of like the last part down here, data breach as a service. Not really data breach, but if you didn't watch, Quidsup today dropped a video on all the ransomware hitting these things. Definitely go check out his video. Because he's looking at the ransomware breakouts in America. And it's like, why is it that for the last several months, every single week, we have had crypto viruses hitting all of these schools and government buildings? And he showed the map, and it's amazing. Like, I've heard of a few of these, but there's 100 of these easy that's been around the United States, and they just keep on growing. And the one I can't remember if it was the city or the school, but he's like, their server gets hit by the crypto virus, and they fire the IT guy, and everyone's like on the quick note, it's like, ugh. Of course, what was he doing? Well, the problem is 2 years ago, he approached the school to say, we have to have an offline backup. This is what we need. And he explained why. And they shot him down. And they said, no, you do the backups on the local server so it doesn't cost us more money. So he's suing for wrongful termination because he has all the evidence that I brought the solution that would fix this before the school board, and they shot it down. So as IT guys, we need to be taken more seriously to understand that it is important. That's why I have offsite data. I don't keep, once I'm done working on your project, I don't keep any of your data on my local computers in case there's a breach on my computers. So you're not getting into the site, you don't have any of the back-end code, you don't have anything. It all comes off, it goes onto one local backup and one backup that's in a bank vault. So if there's some weirdness, I always have 2 copies of that data floating around. And that's part of a backup strategy we need. And that's what schools need. That's what municipalities need. And the more data you process, the more often you need to make those backups, for sure.
Right. We also make sure that we have offsite backups as well. I think I do it the same as you do. We have it on just a portable USB drive. Yeah. But there are some downsides to that, because portable USB drives, depending on the quality of them, they're not necessarily the most reliable things. So we actually even have 2 or 3 copies of a portable USB thing. And that's also a reason why I can see how backup as a service in the cloud is also very tempting for businesses.
Yeah, and that's good if it is encrypted locally and then backed up there.
Yes.
You never want to use a service that just goes there. So.
And precisely where the server is, who controls it, what company, which country's laws are controlling it.
Correct. But if it's all encrypted on your end anyway, it's going to be a lot safer. So even if you're using like an AWS backup, first make sure that it's not open to the public, basic things like that. and then encrypt it and make sure that the encryption keys never get out there. So of course we're talking about AWS and Google being our machine overlords. That's exciting. So let's dive into the consumer end, because this article here just was all straight business, and I think that I mean, call me conspiracy theorist, and I need my tinfoil hat over there, but what if they did this just so that, they did this just like, oh, well, that just doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about that. But the reality is everything has been moving as a service. Now, what was the first one of these? I think one of the earliest ones is Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club. So, and this is actually the first time I'm going and looking at their stuff, and their logo is very suspiciously similar to this logo from Pink Floyd The Wall, which was a model after that logo I'm not going to say because, ooh, But think of that, Dollar Shave Club. Experiences, thoughts? What do you think about Dollar Shave Club?
I've seen the ads, and I've know of the company, but I don't know as much. I don't know really much about sort of
I want to see how much this actually costs.
sort of where they're from. And
so the starter ships today for $5. Today you pay $5, and then your restock box ships September 26th, so that's in like 15 days, which is $40. Holy crap. So every other month. So you're looking at, and that's with a 10% discount. So you're paying like $20 a month for your shaving supplies.
Talking mainly about just as an example to subscription services, you mean?
Yeah. So I'm looking just at the subscription services, because this is kind of, subscription service boxes is kind of where this software, service and software as a service is. How much do you spend on shaving in a month?
Well, first of all, I can't really grow a beard even if I tried. So I probably shave maybe every second day.
Okay.
I use little plastic disposal ones, and so it costs me very little. I can't remember the last time I bought a packet of disposable shavers. It probably goes for a packet maybe once every 3 months for a packet of, say, 6.
Yeah. All right. So I was talking about this last time. So, of course, I got one of these. It's a double-edged safety razor, which this handle, you can get these for like 10 or 20 bucks. Has a little razor blade inside. Looks like this, which is very minimal on waste. It has no plastic in it. I replace the blade on this about every other month. Now, how much are the blades? Well, I got this many blades for the thing for $5. Each one of these boxes is
wow.
So it's fair to say for about 15, I can't remember if I paid 10 for that or if I paid 20 for that. So let's just go with the more conservative. I paid $25, and I will not need to buy shaving supplies for a long time. And of course, if you learn how, you can make your shaving cream. So this guy here is a shaving cream which actually contains about 50% bacon grease. How's that for awesome?
Holy moly.
So really, it was.
But now you know why the cats are licking your face all the time.
That's why. But and of course I bought a brush as well, which is like $10 or something. So it's like $20 a month for all the shaving supplies that I paid $25, and I don't foresee a time. It's kind of like that Fight Club moment, right? No matter what happens in life, the couch is taken care of. No matter what happens in life, I can shave. So. But that's kind of where I think that this began. But then we get into such weird things like your complete guide to car subscriptions. Can you imagine getting a subscription service for your car?
Yeah, we have those over here. They're called, I think it's called GoGet, where you just join a membership and you can use one of these cars that are just scattered around everywhere. for a day and then return it.
We have a couple of those, which I looked at those goes, that's just kind of like short-term rental. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a subscription service you can do. I guess maybe it is. But this one here, so there's Fair. If you use the app, you can get $100 off your car subscription through your phone. Okay, good to know.
It makes sense if you're living in an urban area, like a really inner sort of city area. But most people don't where we are. It's really suburban, so most people end up owning cars anyway.
Yeah. Active BMW has one. So BMW, I think we've talked about many of these on the news. So $1,000 a month, and it's not like a lease where I don't know. I think this is probably a little worse than a lease. Like a lease is a very expensive way to operate a car. $1,000 a month just for a subscription service to drive a car. And you can pause your subscription for a $200 fee. Now, I can understand this. I think when we talk about these at the news, then this is good for an international businessman who, he's stationed in Europe and he's going to be coming to the States for 3 or 6 months. Okay, cool. Why not? $3,000, you got a car, pay $200, freeze it until your next business trip. I can understand that because, buying a car short term while you're here, you could in theory do it, but it wouldn't be a car worth your stature. You could rent a car, but man, that'd get expensive. So the subscription service, you can kind of understand. Okay. Mercedes-Benz, $1,000 a month again. Audi
Wow.
So this one's for $13.95 a month.
I mean, that's literally the same as after a year you've bought a car.
Yeah.
That you still could have used.
Yeah. And that's why they're pushing everything as a service. And so, Windows goes to a service model. You have pretty much everything is moving to subscription models. In fact, in the book and publishing world, there is a service, a printing service, and I cannot remember the name of it now. But it's one I haven't heard of. But one of the guys I follow in the authoring world was talking about it. Well, they just changed their model to, you used to go in and say, well, I'm going to upload my books and the company gets 10% of your sales, which isn't a bad deal. So if I go in and I say, you want to buy a book, and I upload my ebook or whatever, and then they distribute it out to all the different places. So when you purchase the book from them, that company gets their cut, which is, 5 or 10%. And then the distributor is going to get part of their cut, which they used to do 10%. Well, they are doing away with that, and now they're doing everything based on a subscription service instead. So for life now, I can pay $20 a month for the right to distribute my books. What if you don't cause many sales in 1 month? It turns out that with their subscription service, you would have to sell $250 of books a profit in a month in order to break even on that. And that is, for a small startup author, that's a quick way to get into bankruptcy fast. That's expensive. That's very expensive. Versus a royalty share.
It's just about being smarter with your money and just not thinking that spending a few dollars here and there, it might not seem like a lot, with each month as it goes, but it adds up very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Netflix, of course, and that general genre, we used to buy your movies. Now we don't. The good news is now I can find a lot of movies at Goodwill for $2, which is awesome.
I've been doing the same, and the same with CDs as well. I love collecting CDs.
Yeah, I should browse through music a little bit more. I don't really listen to much music though. But I did pick up just today. I swung by. What did I get? I found The Burbs and Where the Wild Things Are. Grand total of $4.20.
Yeah.
So we're kind of moving more into subscription services, but I kind of see them as a service as well. although the subscription services are certainly more consumable, I just kind of wanted to point out that you can, like with Amazon, anything that's consumable, now they're trying to push you into a subscription service. So if you go to anything on Amazon that's subscription based, the default they want to give you is to set up the subscription service. So this one here, I save 5% if I order a single batch of this, or if I throw 5 in my cart and do a 5-item subscription service, I can save 15% on it. And I'm looking at this going, we need to put less things in our life in automation, because I think that as we automate our life, we start to lose control of our life. And as we lose control of our life, this is one of these factors that starts making us a little crazy. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Sorry, just on that thing as well. I really want people to be aware of the marketing that's involved in all of this, because as soon as I see something and it says that you're saving money, my mind automatically thinks, okay, so where's the real cost of this thing? Because you're not really saving money if you end up paying more for something up front that you don't actually really need.
Yeah, correct. So I'm looking at this, and the reason I started looking at this is I came to this conclusion, and this is a conclusion I've long been coming to. I don't know, are you a coffee drinker, Vince?
Hell yes. Sorry.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I think, though, you're quite a bit younger than I am. Now, I remember, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty...
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not really? Okay.
So, I actually think we're very, very similar vintage. My guess is we're very, very...
Okay, you think. All right. So
judging by what you told...
So let me throw this out. Okay. Yeah. We'll discuss it off camera. But so a good decade or so ago, maybe 15 years ago, I remember going to the store, and man, you could buy a lot of flavors of coffee. So you know what I've been having an inkering for lately? Amaretto coffee, French vanilla, or not French vanilla, Irish cream coffee, a few of these other things, chocolate cherry. You can't find these anymore. If I go to the store, you can find hazelnut, French vanilla, cinnamon swirl, chocolate, and that's about it. And then Jamaica Me Crazy and all these other ones that, as a coffee connoisseur, I cannot tell you the difference between any of these coffees that are French roast, morning roast, afternoon roast, bold, light, whatever. I'm a coffee connoisseur, and I cannot really tell you much difference between those. But I want to find me some French vanilla. Well, like French vanilla is easy to find. I keep saying that. I want to find me some Irish cream. Can't find it. We do have it at Wegmans. Only store in town I know of. I think the coffee roaster downtown has it, but last time I got it from them, it didn't taste like French vanilla. It was good because it was fresh roasted coffee, but it didn't taste like French vanilla.
Here's where I've moved away from flavored coffee a long time ago. Ever since I started drinking black, I can taste the difference between slightly different roasts, and I can tell if it's a good one or not. And there are coffee shops that I will never ever go to ever again. Starbucks. They just don't make their coffee strong enough.
Yeah. I don't think Starbucks knows how to make coffee. Now, if you actually get Starbucks coffee beans, they are amazingly good to make it at home. But I don't know how, but Starbucks managed to not make coffee well.
I suspect that's because you can control the intensity. You can control the strength of the coffee.
Yeah.
But they water down their coffee so bad.
Yeah, I had Pete's coffee the other day for the first time, which is actually amazingly good, but I found it too expensive. I'm a cheapskate. I find it too expensive, but the store is like, hey, these ones are ones that are they're discontinued. So they were selling me like 50% off. I'm like, 50% off? I'll buy anything. It's coffee. Give it a try. Pete's is really good coffee. I gotta say, it was good. And of course, I went right from Pete's into Walmart coffee. Yeah,
Mistake.
I did that to myself. I won't be doing Walmart coffee again. But it was a test, I was surprised flavored coffee, Walmart's flavored coffee is actually better than Folgers flavored coffee. But black coffee, no, Walmart's coffee's not good. But anyway, we got into all this discussion of coffee just because I started looking online to see could I get my can I order in my coffees? And the answer is yes, but I notice this, like everything's going to do this. Now, I'm going to buy my coffee, and I know approximately how much I go through. So if I could just throw it on a subscription service and it just shows up, I'm not exactly spending on things that I wouldn't have otherwise wanted. I still don't want to do that because I'm more interested in having more control over what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Yeah,
going to
and
the
a lot of the
grocery
times with these, with these subscription services, there are plenty of times where if you then try and leave the service, they do absolutely everything they can to try and keep you.
store.
Once you've signed up, it's a lot of the times it's very difficult to leave.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started thinking about what is the most weird and obscure service I could find. And I'm not sure if we're going to beat this one. The toiletpapervalet.com. 6 rolls of toilet paper for $9.99 plus free shipping. Get your subscription service toilet paper.
I've seen something similar to that. That's not news to me. And to be fair, I actually almost joined up to one, but I'll explain why.
Okay.
So this service was, I think it was something like along the lines of I don't give a crap or something like that. It had a really weird, funny name, and that was what drew me to it initially. And it's an Australian company, but what they do is it's essentially it's not a not-for-profit, but they give a lot of money to third world countries to actually fund putting toilets into those countries where people actually don't have access to toilets. And I'm still thinking of joining it. I had forgotten about it until you mentioned it. I'm going to try and find the link because I think they function internationally. I think it's a great thing to be doing because A, you get your toilet paper, you don't have to worry about buying it every week, and B, you're actually giving money to charity.
There you go. And C, I mean, some people are a little squeamish about, taking your toilet paper up and throwing it up there on the clerk at Walmart and have somebody touch the stuff. Never mind. We're getting too TMI here, right?
Really? Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, if you do need it, I mean, $13.99 for 12 rolls is not a bad price. $9.99 for 6 rolls, that's a pretty bad price. But the question is it good toilet paper or not? I mean, I keep on I don't know why I do this, but I keep on actually buying Scott's brand, and it's like wax. Ugh. It's horrible, and I keep accidentally doing it.
And the thing is also, I just found it was called Who Gives a Crap.
Okay.
And the price itself for the toilet paper that I looked at is actually it's not really any more than a toilet paper that I'd be buying at the shops. I found it. I just put it in the YouTube chat.
Oh, did you? Okay. Is that US?
But I'm pretty sure they ship internationally. I think I read that they ship internationally.
I did not see it show up in the YouTube chat yet. Oh well, I found it.
Oh no?
I'm not seeing it. Interesting. Is my YouTube feed not updating anymore? I'm getting stuff about coffee still. Did you put it in YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Are you seeing it?
I'll put it in. I can see
anyway,
it, maybe because
I got it. I found it.
Yeah. There. Yeah.
I'm wondering, did it there is like
Yeah.
there is like a slow mode. I'm wondering if it turned on the slow mode accidentally, because I'm seeing a few chats pop up.
This is maybe a subscription that I might actually
let me switch to
join
live chat.
just because of what they do.
Yeah, I just switched over to live chat, and the last comment I see from you is LOL, Mr. Rich BOB. I'm guessing you posted it after that, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Anyway, well, I found it.
I'll put it in the Hangouts chat. So.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So here you go. Free shipping on most orders. Made without trees. 50% of profits donated to help build toilets. I didn't realize that I didn't realize that there was a big trouble that we were lacking funding to build toilets.
Well, in third world countries where basic hygiene is a thing, causes a lot of disease if you can't get access to a toilet.
So, well, here's the question: does it help distribute and install toilets, or just build them? Because building toilets, I'm just picturing going into a giant warehouse and building a bunch of toilets. And I have pallets of it. There's some corporate capitalist, fat cat CEO is over here sitting on it, going, "Who's gonna buy my toilets?"
And they can go and build a toilet. Done.
That's right, man. That's right. So anyway. But anyway, yeah, if they're helping to build and distribute, that's cool. Oh, good for your bum. Oh boy. Forest-friendly paper towels. All right. Forest-friendly tissues. So there's 100% bamboo, and there's double-length rolls. Double-length rolls are sold out. The bamboo ones are not. Interesting. Well, there you go. So, what other fascinating ones can we do? Interesting.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah, go look into it. Let me know. Give me a report. Let me know how it works. All right, let me jump back up to our comments here. Please make the background noises stop. Which background noises? There. I mean, we got a cicada outbreak where I'm at. So.
It could have been coming from my end because my wife and daughter were home, but they've gone out now, so it should be better.
Windows is not a service.
So normally she takes my daughter to dance classes during the time of these streams. But she popped back before they went today, so that's why we got a little special guest earlier.
Yes, all right. See, if an issue was on, we would have had interview questions going, All right.
Yeah.
What is Linux? Nobody knows. There are no communities, but there are a few individuals using Linux. Need to be frugal and save your money and make your life easier. So I guess this raises a question. If you could put everything that you know you're going to need and you're not going to overspend, would you put it on a subscription service or not?
There seems to be a lost art to saving up for something and then buying that thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember learning a long time ago, both from my parents and also in school, that if you needed something, but you couldn't afford it right now, you saved up for it before buying it. You don't. I mean, even phone plans are in a way are a subscription service when you have a subsidized phone plan.
Yeah, like there's a difference though between like a phone bill, a water bill, electric bill. Those are basic utilities that you're using. And that's why it begs the question. I mean, we know you're going to be using food. I know about how much coffee I'm going through. I can tell you about how many, tomatoes and heads of lettuce and sticks of butter I'm going to go through in a given month. So if I have all this calculated down...
What I meant was when you go out and buy it and get a mobile phone on a plan, you're still paying for that phone plus interest. Like over the years, I've saved so much money buying my phones outright. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I stopped putting my phones. I think the last phone I bought under that model was in 2013, maybe. And of course, prior to that, it was hard to do that, at least in the States. Most places you need to buy the phone from them. Pusong says, roast your own. If you want Irish cream flavor, there's Irish cream Coffee Mate. Yes, but the Irish cream Coffee Mate is full of a ton of chemicals and lots of sugar and other things that I don't put in my coffee. I drink black coffee. Black coffee's the way to go. Starbucks is evil. All right, touche. Yeah, I hate Starbucks. Like, if I take my coffee cup to Starbucks and I'm using my coffee cup, why does it still cost me like anywhere between 55 cents and $5 for a refill. And I've actually emailed corporate to say, you know, half the time I go to the local store, they charge me for a refill that costs me like 45 cents. The other half the time, they're charging me like this outrageous amount. What is the official company policy? They responded, and I have no idea what their response was. It was like something vomited out of some corporate speak word generator. I have no idea what the thing said. So I was like, you know what? I'm just never buying from Starbucks again. At least not for the near future. And I haven't for a long time.
You would love it here, Tom, actually, because we because of our culture, we have so many small independent coffee shops.
Yeah.
And coffee snobbery is huge here. It's so big that it's actually not very hard to find a decent cup of coffee anywhere you go, because all these coffee shops have to lift their game to satisfy all their customers.
Yeah. We have a couple.
So it's really easy to get a good cup of coffee.
Yeah. We do have a couple small ones out here. We do have one, I think possibly two coffee roasters in town that actually get the green beans and roast it in town. Which is...
See, I would just park my car in front of where they're roasting the coffee and just sit there smelling the coffee all day.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to. They were kind of across the street and down, just across the alley. It's like on a back alley. They were, I think, how far they were. They were like half a block from where we used to go and do when I was working at the soup kitchen downtown, and it was. That's why I tried it once. Their coffee's amazing, but their flavor just... I need to go down and get some more flavored coffee from them next time I'm in town, just to give it another try in case I got a bad batch, you know. But yeah. So Starbucks roasts their beans for too long. All right. GIMP does not have non-destructive layers. Affinity is a thing as well. Yeah. GIMP, like, it depends on what you're meaning by a non-destructive layer, because GIMP, you can, anytime you can undo what you've done to a particular layer on GIMP. That is, it doesn't have the layer properties like Krita has, but that has never stopped me from issues. And I think GIMP 2.10 actually solved a lot of that stuff as well, but I still use 2.8, so I can't remember for sure. Kali Linux and Starbucks is my favorite coffee flavor. Never tried that coffee flavor. Ever tried Kicking Horse coffee? I have not. Blender doesn't have a feature to work similar SketchUp. SketchUp is a lot of ways very poor 3D CAD program. Black Rifle Coffee Company. I have not. Stimulants get me really buzzed. Coffee hits me just as hard as cocaine. So I usually just drink water when I wake up. All right, there you go.
That's probably a better choice.
So, I mean, you've tried cocaine, you know this? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, even water is probably better for you than coffee.
Oh, for sure. I just like my coffee. I buy Energy Star appliances and electronics. You can save you power. Yeah, I actually don't keep anything plugged in that's not being used actively. I have my one computer block stays plugged in, which is my router, modem, and server. I have my extension router stays plugged in. The microwave, the oven, and the refrigerator. And the oven only stays plugged in because it would be a pain to unplug it.
Even if you don't want to unplug it, just simply... I mean, even if you don't unplug it, simply pressing the power button on your monitor will save you, I think it's like 2 or 3 watts of power.
Yeah, even just keeping it plugged in, though, will still consume power, even if it's off. That's why all of my office here is all on power strips. So I shut everything down and click it off. It's hilarious because my neighbor's electric bill goes up like 5 times the rate as mine. It's kind of hilarious. And I work at home, and they're never home. They're like never home. Now, of course, they run their AC all the time too, but which I don't. Get a composting toilet if you really want to help the environment. There you go. That's kind of what the kitties use. The kitties box is kind of like a composting toilet. My kitties, this is a fun tip for you guys that have cats. Don't buy kitty litter anymore. It's too expensive and too hard to get rid of. Go down to Tractor Supply and get equine bedding. It's good enough for a horse. It's good enough for a cat. And it's these little pellets made of pine. And as they go onto it, it opens up into a box of sawdust. It has its own natural scent because it's pine. And it will actually keep your box infinitely cleaner. And I put in, I think I go through one bag of it. It's either every 3 or 6 months, and it costs $5. So get equine bedding for your kitties. Okay. Do you have Tractor Supply out there?
Haven't heard of them, so probably no.
I mean, you probably have
Was it someone on your stream? Was it last?
What's what?
Was it someone on your stream? Was it last week where they were saying that you should put your kitty litter in a box and leave it on your doorstep for anyone trying to steal your Amazon deliveries?
I do remember that. That does
Was
sound
that-
fun. I do have an Amazon box. I could do that. That'd be kind of fun. Hello, CJ. Greetings. And I'm not talking about the cute CJ on my desk.
Of course, there were those videos of that guy who installed cameras into a box and glitter bombs. Did you ever see those? And
Yeah,
whoever stole their
he actually edited some of the video because a few of it was not legitimate, but a couple of them were on his answers. But yeah, I remember that was really cool. I enjoyed that.
so funny.
Never get coffee at Starbucks. There isn't one here. So do Starbucks do good over there with all of the competition?
They still do fairly well, mainly because it's the marketing. Everyone knows Starbucks. Everyone's familiar with them. But I mean, as you and I both know, you're going to get the best quality produce. You're going to get the best quality food when you go independent. Large chains, no.
Yeah. Buy kitty litter to soak up oil on the driveway. All right. Yeah, we have, I think we have Rothrock Coffee, which I think is a local one, but they're like pretty aggressive though. They're actually in the local grocery stores too. They've actually sold to the local grocery stores as well. But this is funny. I do not ever go to that coffee shop because there is never a place to sit down. It is like that good. I mean, it's pretty good coffee, but it's like, there's never a place to sit down. It's like, so I don't go there.
I'd probably just take it outside and sit in the gutter.
Yeah, there you go. But there's a lot of other places. Like Dunkin' Donuts coffee's pretty good. McDonald's coffee's actually pretty good.
Actually, I would agree with that. We have McDonald's coffee that's quite good here as well.
We should have a cat, but the family is allergic to fur. Oh, that's sad. Here, you can look at my cat instead. See, isn't he cute? It's like, dude, I'm trying to sleep, man. Let me sleep. Oh, stop mooning me, cat. I don't want to see that. Cat's over here like, take this. Yeah, your comment never showed up. I don't know, it's funny.
Oh.
All right. That's fine. It's over here in Google, but that's okay. All right. I think what we'll do, let's just do our final see you laters and wrap this one up. And I will be on my other channel here tonight. Let me find the link for you guys. I got to remember what I'm even talking about. Oh, hold on. Hey, kitty. Just hang tight, kitty. You're going to get some kitty treats. I just need to get to this computer first. Okay.
Hey, so CJ hang around all stream, actually.
Yeah, he's been here.
That's fuzzy CJ, not.
Yeah, yeah. The
Some
fuzzy
the other
snake
CJ.
CJ is down here. Kitty, please do not knock my monitor off. It's terrible. That would actually make me a little mad. All right. So we are talking about, should Christians be political? That's what we're talking about today. The feed is in there, and we will be starting in 1 hour from now on my other channel, which is called Our Walk in Christ. And we're going to be talking about, should Christians be political? Ooh. So that'll be a fun one. And what are your final thoughts on all of this stuff?
With the service stuff, I can see how it actually makes a lot of sense for businesses. We use some ourselves, but the good thing is that now a lot of people are moving towards a hybrid system where you have some local, some cloud. I think that's probably a better alternative. As individuals, we have a Spotify account. We have a few other things that they can be useful, but you just got to be careful what you just really think really carefully and long and hard before you just click the subscribe button. That's all I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, weigh it. There's like, the best argument I've ever heard for like, having Netflix is, I know a guy that's wife was like kind of a hoarder in a way. And it's like, anything I can do to not have to buy more stuff into here. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to get the subscription service because all the movies we need are right here.
But know though that you will never own that movie. You're paying just to rent it.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that compromise, go for it.
Yeah. I like owning it. I want to have the copy of it for when the apocalypse comes and I can scrounge a DVD player out of some house.
I've got to say I'm the same. Yep.
Of course, now I need to find solar panels and batteries and other things to allow that DVD player to go. But hey, if the power grid comes back, I can now watch my movies again, and I don't have to wait for some infrastructure. Let's go ahead and feed this creature. Feed the beast. Feed the beast. I don't think I can lower the camera for you. Sorry, but I can lower the camera for everybody else. Let me go jump over to the main screen so you guys can see the kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Get some kitty treats, huh? Kitty treats? Yeah, go, buddy. Oh. Oh, we got the paw. We got the paw. Did you get it? Oh, yeah, we got it. One more. There you go. Oh, you bit me, didn't you? Yes, you did. I am not the kitty treat. I am not the kitty treat. Hey, Mavis Games just jumped on. That would be my brother, everybody. Mavis Games. If you want to go see the wonder of genetics, you can head on over and watch him on Twitch in the afternoons usually. Twitch.tv/Mavis Games. And he is the 100% opposite of me. My show is family friendly. His show is decidedly not. He has wretched long hair. I have very short hair. All those fun things. And I'm family friendly. And
G'day, brother of Tom.
Yes. But yes, and he says Adobe is evil. Autodesk isn't much better. That is correct. He is actually a game developer and has to deal with the unfortunate subscription fees around that crap. But anyway, let's see. So we're going to be, let me see if I wrap up any of our final comments, and then let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Owning is always better. That's right. Owning is always better. Okay, Tom, when you have no internet, you can at least watch movies. Yes, that's right, man. Whole internet goes down. In fact, this is funny. We had, and it was a combination of, it was funny on our end, but it was actually a little tragic. Somebody had went down a barrel roll into a telephone pole not too far from here, like about 3 or 4 miles down the road. And it knocked out power to this whole grid. Not cool. But I have solar backups, so we just pulled the solar battery down and hooked up a computer to monitor, which is lower power than a TV, and plugged in the Xbox into my inverter, and we played some Xbox. That's what we did when our power was out, because,
Reasons. Yeah, that's the thing as well. I mean, the, the internet is a fragile thing.
Yeah. So it's the internet is good when we use it right. It's not good when we rely on it for everything that we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, subscription stuff on Adobe and Autodesk is awful. Yeah, and I don't know. I think Adobe and Autodesk is competing for who can do worse. Adobe's like $100, man, a month. No. We got you, bro. $185 a month. That's what Autodesk charges for 3ds Max, I believe. Ugh. Not owning a home, not better. It's better to rent, and the money saved in maintenance and mortgage costs put in savings. Better. Yeah, it depends on how you're doing it, and where you're at. Like where I'm at, owning a property where I'm at, like a trailer park, like a trailer in a trailer park was for sale. I saw an ad for it the other day. $100,000. Now, my mother sold her second house and had trouble giving it away for $25,000. So if I were in that town, $25,000. I mean, that's 2 years rent. It's 2 years rent where I'm at right now. Whole house. That's worth it. Moving to a small town, getting a mortgage on some small house, worth it. In my town where I live right now, where the average house price is $250,000, the average house price, modern economy, you're never paying that off. So, yeah.
The thing is, though, Tom, you could do what you do from a small town as long as you had good access to internet.
There's a couple reasons I'm here, but I will not be here for long term. It's not a long term plan to stay in this place, which is why I'm renting, not buying. But there's a few reasons I'm in this town, which I will not be in this town much longer. Whether I just go 15 minutes away, because literally if I just jump on the road and go, down here to Phillipsburg or whatever, the prices are a quarter of the cost as they are up here about. So, I could find a similar place down there for, half the price I'm paying now. But there's reasons I'm in this town, so we'll deal with it. Adobe Creative Cloud was $600 paid. I think though you have to pay it annually. I think the $600 is an annual fee. Adobe does not have long-term payment. You have to buy it every year. But you can buy it per year, and it'll save you a little bit of money. Can't buy Autodesk or Adobe anymore. You have to switch over to subscription models. Yep. It's now $95.
I mean, of course, everyone's now talking about the new kid on the block, which is Google Stadia. Your brother might have more opinion on it.
Google Stadia. I don't know.
The subscription gaming service that Google has announced.
Oh, I don't know. Mavis Games, do you have any other knowledge about that subscription? Yeah, I'm not in the gaming world, so I don't know.
I bet he would.
Yeah. He probably would, actually. Yeah, totally. Yeah, technically it is illegal to use student software for profit. Yes, that is correct. I'm trying to think. I have CS4 Professional. So I bought the actual professional license for my Adobe products like 10 years ago. And prior to that, I was running CS2, which was a student license, which I did for my dissertation was done in CS2, which is horrible. 4 was good, and I don't really see a reason to move up. Moto, $2,000. You can own it. Google Stadia, never going to work. It's a Google product. They'll just shut it down once everybody likes it. We're still working on replacing this.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny because it's true. Oh, but they've extended Hangouts. I think they've extended it till June next year.
Yeah. So I'm working on. I'm thinking the problem we're having right now with the Nextcloud Talk application is it gets confused when there's more than one camera on the system, and so that's where I'm having issues with it. I'm trying to get it figured out. So there's actually an application. I have it through an app image over here, which it is called Rambox. Now that kind of defaults to taking the first camera, but if I can set that first camera and lock it in, that might fix my problem. So I have Rambox, which I'm testing on my Arch computer, and if it seems to work, I'll move it over onto the Mint computer. I want to give that a try, but yeah, we got to get testing, and then of course I'll just see if there's some updates to the server as well. So. All honesty, Stadia can work 50 years from now with the very top tier internet. Is that the one I read about where like everything is streamed, like every bit of it is streamed? There's like nothing local.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is that you pay a fee, but you don't actually even get any games with that fee. You get one, I think it's one game a month you can have, but it's not like a Netflix where you pay a fee and you can play whatever game you like. No, you still got to buy the game. The fee is only to get better quality games, better quality of the actual stream. So instead of 180p, you get 4K.
I don't understand paying all this money to buy something that you don't own. I'm just like, that's how I can tell I'm getting old. I mean, it's.
Every time you say that we're getting old, I think Gnostic gets triggered.
Sorry, Gnostic.
It's funny.
But is it a lot different than going to a movie theater and paying, the same price for the movie at the theater to see it once, and you pay at Walmart for the DVD, if you can find it on DVD. I think I saw The Phantom Menace at Goodwill today, and if it wasn't $5 for that one thing, like $5 for a DVD, what is this? A ripoff? I mean, All right, well, I think we need to jump off here because I need to start streaming in about 50 minutes. So I will see you guys over there. If you guys want that, I will drop that link in there once again. And you guys have yourselves, a wonderful afternoon.
Catch you later, everyone.